Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today we're doing another drugstore makeup tutorial. Okay, so it's just going to be a simple makeup tutorial. And it's also going to have some talking because, I just want to do what I normally do. Chat and all that. Oh, I got like a pimple or something. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour full wear concealer in the shade Ivory. And we're going to do eyeshadow, our eyeshadow primer today. So one of these days, I'm going to switch what eyeshadow primer I use. But anyways, so I had a dentist appointment today. And I have 6 cracked teeth. A filling had popped off. So I have a lot of work to be done with my teeth. Which, is fine. Oh, it's whatever. But also, I got a new tackle box from my uncle, and it's a lot bigger, so it's going to be able to fit all my makeup in it. So I am officially, for now, moving out of my makeup drawer. Just for now. I'm like cleaning my face too. There we go. Nothing to it really. Just making sure my face is clean. And I got a clean canvas. I should have done that before, but I didn't think about it. So now I know that I have a really clean canvas to work on. So now we're gonna go do the other eye. So after this tutorial, I am going to be moving all my makeup into the tackle box. And all that good jazz. So, all my makeup, or I should say it this way, all my makeup brushes and sponges and possibly my makeup wipes if there's enough room. So you know what? What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna take a little bit of that because now it just looks stupid. I'm gonna take the brush, my e.l.f. small concealer brush, as I call it, and we're gonna do some concealer on the side of the nose here. All the way down. And we'll just prime on the bridge. And we gotta blend it out a little bit. Because it kind of looks stupid now. And then we're going to clean the outer portion of the eye. And I am getting pretty sweaty because it is pretty hot here. Okay. So now I'm going to take my Real Technique setting brush and I'm going into the Maybelline powder, but I do have the Physicians Formula powder if I do need it. So I'm not setting the nose quite yet until we put everything that goes on the nose, and then I'll set it afterwards. So I'm not like setting it now just because it has concealer, because it's just gonna come off. Sorry. And the shade and the Maybelline that I'm using, and I always say the shade now, is 120 Classic Ivory. Because my shades are getting ready to change just a little bit. Because these are close to my summer shades. Some I can use all year round, some I can't. Alright, so now we're going to do eyeshadow, which I got 2 eyeshadow palettes and a single eyeshadow. First, we're going to go into the palettes. And actually, before we do that, we're going to do eyeliner, which is this one from Amazon that I'd got during Halloween. I'm going to kind of fix the brush here. And I can't wait to be able to use regular eyeliner and not this gel eyeliner. Sometimes I make sure that it's like really tight and then it just gets too tight and I don't realize it into the end. So we were going into this gel eyeliner. We're gonna obviously do our eyeliner. Just making sure it's warm so it's easier to use. There we go. Okay, so it's easier to use. And now paint. So I'm just warming it up a little bit more because it is still kind of hard to work with. That should be good. And I'm just putting all my used makeup back behind. The sorry, the tackle box. I was trying to figure out what the heck it was called. Tackle box. And like all the brushes and all of the makeup once it's all used up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, once I'm done using them. And then, like I said, I'm going to go through and fill this tackle box up with all my makeup while I'm posting. So I'm just fixing the mistake I had made on my eye. So now we can go in and work. So first we're going to go into the first shade in the Bite Size palette and I Love You Latte. And we're going to use the Eagle Tools Angled Crease Brush to apply that all over the lid. And just letting you know, just because it is in this box, I might use it occasionally if I feel like I need a break from what I'm trying to use up at the moment. Because I'm done giving myself this many weeks to use up this many products. I'm just going to try to focus on the products I have out now. But occasionally I will use other products just to, what is it called? Just to switch it up a bit and use other things up. Alright. So, my fiance likes to spend time with me when he gets home from work, so I'm gonna have to like hurry up, speed this up. We're gonna have to go through this fast. Alright, so the first shade is done. But we are gonna need this brush again a little later on with the bronzer. So now, I'm gonna go into this crease brush. Going to first mix the first and the fourth shade in the Perfect 10 palette and in Nude Mood. So I'm going to do it this way so it's easier to show. Going up and down, going to close it a little bit, knock off the excess, then go up and down on both sides, and the fourth shade, close it a little bit and knock off the excess. And then we're going focus this in the crease, just the crease area, and that's it. We're not going to put it any higher because we're going to do that with the third shade that we're using, which is the second shade in the bite size palette. And this is going to be a simple eye look today. Alright. So this palette is done because I'm doing my lid a little bit differently today. So I didn't even need this brush, sorry. I thought I would. Sometimes I think about doing something else and then like in the middle of the tutorial I'll go, no, I changed my mind, I'm gonna do it this way. So now we're going into the second shade in the bite size palette. Knocking off as much fallout. So mostly focus it in the crease, but then also put it a little higher. Alright. So we're gonna have to do some blending in the end. So this brush is done. We're gonna have to use the blending eye brush. I'm holding it pretty close to the head today to blend out the top part, and then I'll move further back once we go down. Then going further back once we go down. Holding it closely while doing the brow. Then holding it farther back as we go down. Alright. Now that part is done, the palette is done. So now I'm going to get this little inner corner highlight brush, and this is going to be our lid shade for today. So I'm just going to pack it on the way it is. But what's nice about the shade, and I might put it a little bit in the crease. But anyways, what's nice about this is also the shade Snow Blossom, by the way, is this is very pretty, but it's also a sheer formula, and as it fades down, it literally looks like, I mean, today it is part of the makeup look because now I'm using it as a eyeshadow, as a lid shade, and not a eyeshadow topper today. But when it is an eyeshadow, and I'm going to use that for something different too. But anyways, when it is an eyeshadow topper, it blends in to the point where it doesn't look like an eyeshadow topper. So now let's fix this eye look. Underneath the eye. Here we go. So now we're going into primers. First is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And this has 4% niacinamide, which is really helping my skin. But actually, it's not taken away from. Probably like a couple more uses out of this. Maybe a little bit more. Wait, hold on. I'll show you in a minute. But see how it looks like tacky and wet on my face? So we're gonna let that dry down for a few seconds. And then we'll go into the next primer. And then we'll let that sit for a few minutes. Then go into the next primer. Which I am not using any glow base primers today. It's all gonna be a natural base today. So hopefully just using highlighter will allow my face to be extra glowy. And the fact that I'm using, the blush one too. Alright, so extra glowy. Still feels, actually it doesn't feel as bad now. Alright, so now we're going into the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. So this we're just going to squeeze on to my finger. I'm going to squeeze onto my finger. And do that. So I'm only going to use the brush that I normally use. We're going to use that for the Neutrogena primer. And see how well that does. Because, like I said, we have either until my fiance gets home or before my fiance gets home, depending when we can finish this. But we only have so long to do this so I can be done for my fiance. Because the reason is he wants to spend so much more time with me than we normally do. is because we both work now. So it's like he's trying to get as much time. Oh, he's trying to spend as much time as he can with me. After work. Granted, I do not work Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I work Monday and Saturday or Sundays. I work Monday, Friday, Saturday. And that seems to be bringing in decent money. Still nothing I can really live on if I was by myself. But now that I have someone helping me, I can live on my own with my fiance. So the Neutrogena primer that we're going to use, we are going to put it all over the face too. Just because this is a matte primer, so it does help mattify the face too. So it just helps. Alright. So now we're going into the Neutrogena primer. This is the Neutrogena Prep and Correct Redness Correcting Primer. So we're going to do that. We're going to take the e.l.f. Putty Primer Applicator. Going to spread it first. Spread, spread, spread. And then massage it into the skin. So then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Let it first. Okay. So, a really great primer. I'm going to do, I don't know if I did this, where it's like talking about the ratings. I think I did. If I did, then I might do an updated version. And if I didn't, then I'll do one. But it's just like, you know, this product has this many ratings. Whether it be a low rating or a high rating. I do both. No, I did a high rating one. That's what it was. So today, or whenever I do my next tutorial, I'm going to do a high and low. Okay. So we're going to let this set. And then we'll be ready to cover this all up with concealer to help with the foundation. Alright, so I'm not doing underpainting today because with that, it's not worth it because you can't see it. It doesn't show throughout the day for some reason. So we're just going to do the concealer underneath. Then we're going to put the foundation, put concealer on top, and then do it again. Or I might just wait. I might wait actually and just do it on top. So I'm going to be doing my foundation a little bit differently today. Shake it up. We're going into the Oma Beauty Flawless IRL Skin Perfecting Foundation. And I'm going to drop it onto my face. Take my foundation brush and put my foundation on that way. Well, at least for this part. Then put another couple drops. It fell onto the pump. And I will be putting it on my neck. Don't worry. I'll be putting it down my neck too. I'm just doing my face first. So I can see how much I need on my neck. Know what I mean? So we're gonna by that sound like I could probably use that foundation up. And then use the hard candy concealer as foundation. Alright. So this is pretty beautiful. Okay. But it's a flawless foundation anyways. So that's why. So pretty much the whole point of doing that the way I did is to keep my hand clean. So I bet you I'm probably gonna finish this powder today. But anyways, now we're going into the Real Technique sponge. And first I'm going to put it into my hairline. Spread it out that way. And then so I'm going to do contour, cream contour. And then I'm going to do bronzer on top, even on top of the contour. Yeah. So this is a pretty good foundation besides the smell. This is just to use less wipes. You know what I mean? Alright. So now pretty much I'm gonna set really quickly. Alright. And then really quickly we're going to put the e.l.f. Camo Concealer under the eyes. And I'm using the shade Fair Warm. And I'm going to use some of this right here, right here, right here, and right here. So then I'm taking the excuse me, Camo Concealer Sponge to blend that out. Now on the places we didn't use the Camo Concealer, we're going to use the Maybelline really quickly. To blend this. Oh. Alright. So we're gonna use the Maybelline Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer in the shade 110. And we're gonna put it right here. On the other side. There. And right there. And then we're gonna do the around the arch, this part of the brow. Okay. I'm gonna use the Camo Concealer Sponge to blend that out. This is just to really make sure That foundation's light. Besides for on the chin. Alright. So now, we're going to do this backwards. Okay? So we're going to do blush first, and then contour. That's what I mean by that. So I'm going to use this angled brush. This pretty much. Not by the nose too. Okay. So this brush is pretty much done. I need a different brush. Or actually no, let's do this because I like how it's like so easy to blend with that brush. Alright, so now we're gonna use the Real Technique sponge again. Let me use the reason I'm doing blush first is so it's so much easier to hide it because everything's going to essentially cover it. So now we're going into the e.l.f. Halo Glow Blush Beauty Wand in the shade Rose You Slay. I'm using my fingers to blend that out first. And then I'm using the sponge. So I'm trying to see how well my idea works with the covering it up. I still gotta use another makeup wipe. So now we're going into contour, which is the Rimmel London Stay Matte Concealer in the shade Espresso. I know blending it out will help hide it too. So we're going to use the e.l.f. contouring brush. Yeah. Alright, hold on. So, essentially, it works. I mean, the highlight's gonna help help it too. But it works, and also I gotta do the arches too, so that's gonna help hide it too. So it's pretty much gonna look like a small section. Ugh, my nose itches. Why is it makeup always irritates my nose? But nothing else. Into the day goes on, like. literally, okay, I couldn't post the get ready with me because it wasn't working. But literally, that day that I was going to do the get ready with me, literally at the end of my day, I was wiping off my face, and my face was so red and so irritated because I was wearing it so long. But hey, that just means that, I gotta wear that long a lot more to get my face used to it. So now I'm doing essentially the arch in my face. And now contouring's done. And we're gonna bronze. Let's see. I hope to cover up more blush. So, and I can tell it's not dry all the way, so there's some pink on my brush. So, alright, so now highlighter, which is the L'Oreal True Match Lamy Glotion and the shade Fair Glow. So we're essentially gonna go like that. Have a big stripe on my face for a minute. And we're going into the Real Technique Soft Accent Brush to blend that out really quick. So the highlighter just blended in with it. But it still made it less noticeable, which is what I wanted. So I did what I wanted. So A plus. This is a good way to do it, and this is how I'm gonna do it from now on. And I'm gonna even use what I have left on the brush on other parts of my face. So pretty. And I'm sweating so freaking much. Okay. So now alright. So now again going to actually now trying to think. Yes, we're going to do another round of setting spray to make sure everything's really set. Before the powder and everything, so it's just really, really set. And I wanted to do some inner corner highlight, but I'm not going to. And the eyeshadow still looks really pretty. Yeah. Need like a fan up here to fan my face so like everything dries really quick. You know what I mean? Alright. So really quickly, I'm going to use some of this powder. Just the Maybelline and a big powder brush. And I'm going to powder right here. And my face. And I'm going to need that other powder. Just not everything's setting. Alright, so I'm going to call quits on this powder. After today. I mean, I can still use this powder for today. Alright. So now we're really going to need the setting powder in this. So first we're going to use a little bit of the brightening powder for my under eyes. Sorry, it's just something my uncle said. Adults are not gonna listen. Sorry, these are my cats, and I told you not to feed them human food. So I've been having a big problem in my house about people feeding the cats human food when I tell people not to. They're like, my uncle's like, you actually think we're gonna listen to you? Well, I'm sorry. They're my cats. And I'm like, might not listen to me, but you will listen to him and him. I'm like, next time. I told my dad, I'm like, next time I find him feeding human food to cats, to my cats, I don't want him touching my cats. I'm like, human food is not good for cats. I don't care, you know, about my great grandpa's old cat. There could be other reasons she lived to be 21, not human food. So honestly, the human food would have killed her. So I'm really making sure, like, my upper lip is set. This setting brush is a good way to make sure your makeup's really set. I'm gonna a lot of dust. Then my doctor or my dentist today was cleaning my teeth and was blaming the fact that, you know, I have bad teeth on me. I'm like, no, you can blame it on my family. They're like, how? I'm like, it's called DNA. I'm sorry, but that is what it's called. Genetics. DNA. Blaming it on me when I have no control over the thing. I can be doing everything right. No, still show I'm not doing anything. Alright. So, I'm not gonna do lips. I wanted to, but I'm not going to because dinner is done. So, bronzer. So, I'm gonna use this angled blender brush, and I'm using the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer in Forever Sunkiss. And I had to laugh the other day. Because my fiance's dad's like, I told you I needed your help the other day. Why didn't you come help me? My fiance's like, because I don't want to be around you anymore. Like, literally straight up told him the truth of why he didn't help. I don't want to be around you anymore. Which, I'm sorry, he don't. He's like, my fiance's dad's like, that's a lie, is it her? I'm like, no, actually it is him. And I'm like, actually it's you that's pushing him that way. He's like, how? And my fiance's like, everything you say to her, pretty much making her feel like shit and all that. He's like, well, she is. She's like, he's like, she's turning into her mother. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, cause if I was turning into my mother, I'm like, both of you would be in the hospital right now. I'm sorry, it's true. Both my fiance and his dad would be in the hospital. So, it was so funny. And Tyler, my fiance Tyler's like, looks at him and is like, you're lucky you're not in the hospital because of me. I'm like, oh, crap. says, like, you're gonna defend a little girl over me. He goes, yeah, because that little girl happens to be the girl I'm marrying and the girl that's gonna be over you at all times. He's like, what do you mean? Tyler looks at him and is like, you're always gonna be in second place. You're always gonna be second. And he's like, and when the kids come, we're gonna drop down to third, maybe fourth. He's like, who'd be third? He goes, her dad. He goes, why her dad? Tyler looks at him and is like, you know how you always think we're so close? He goes, yeah, because we are. He's like, no, you're right. Oh, wait, no, we're not. He's like, I'm more close to her dad than I am you. He's like, in my eyes, Jeremy's my dad, not you, which is my dad's name. He's like, in my eyes, and Jeremy's my dad, not you. And that's only because, my dad does treat Tyler like his son. My dad has always wanted kids. Okay, I'm going into the e.l.f. Primer Infused Matte Blush and Always Cheeky. But anyways, my dad has always wanted a son, or more kids in general. But it just didn't happen. And that was the e.l.f. Stay All Night. So, there you have it. I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!